Hey guys, you're listening to Lather Talk. This is your host Jon, aka Lather Hog, and with me as always is my co-host Gerard.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
It's been a while, guys, so we're so glad to be here with you in the year 2021. So goodbye and good riddance to 2020. Happy New Year to everyone.
Even though 2020 is still around.
Yes, we're not in the clear by any means whatsoever as far as real world stuff, but it's been quite a while since Gerard and I have spoken for the podcast. The last episode dropped beginning of December, but we actually recorded it, probably a few weeks before that. So it's been over a month, and you'll just hear a lot of catch up today from Gerard and myself. But we do have a few things to get to as well. I want to hit the topic of current top 3 razors, as well as fielding some listener questions that you guys were kind enough to submit when I called for questions in December on Instagram. But Gerard, why don't you give us a bit of a recap on just what's life been like, shaving wise, or outside real life interests and all good things.
Yeah, I mean, so far, life's been good. My son is, as of this, just a tad over 9 months old, and he is just growing way too quickly. He's, I mean, yeah, the kind of, everyone's a little bit different, but, he's just a big boy, and everything. I think he's like 25 pounds already.
Wow.
Like he's just there. Like he's just like growing so fast. And I remember like bringing him home and he's just like this little thing. And now I'm just like, God, you're like heavy, kid. And then he just like squirms and all that stuff. That's the stage where I'm at right now with him. So that's all good. Work's been good. Yeah, shaving wise, I want to say it's kind of you know you're always picking up stuff, right? But I think sometimes we have like these moments where we get excited because like so many things that we are interested in are coming out. But I feel like maybe in like last couple of months of 2020, some I would pick up some stuff here and there, but there wasn't anything that's just like I got to get that like right away. uh, uh, or not, at least, rather than like blind buying it, waiting for some feedback from some people and just saying, what do you think about this? And they're like, oh, I like it, or like, no, don't worry about it. But yeah, other than that, it's been good. I think just trying to almost like slow down as far as like the shave routine and stuff like that. Um, I think if you follow me on Instagram or anything like that, I was kind of going hard probably early in the middle of the year with the post, and then it's not that I wasn't shaving. It's just I just wasn't taking the time to like take the picture, get everything like nice and ready. Just shaving just for the sake of shaving, and whatnot. So, and I think that's kind of carrying over to this year. Again, just like kind of like enjoying stuff, not necessarily like letting my like facial hair grow out like too much, but instead of like every day, maybe going 2 or 3 days, and that's it. Just again slowing down, uh, and I think there, in it, I'm kind of just enjoying myself more because I'm not so focused on pushing content or anything like that.
Did you wind up, because we recorded before Thanksgiving and Black Friday, did you wind up picking up anything, Black Friday sales, or even over the holidays, Christmas and whatnot?
I should probably look, and just go back and see my emails if I did. I'm sure. I did. I know I did, but like it was already basically a month and a half ago. So, I mean, I know I picked up Summer Break Soap's Valedictorian, which is an excellent tobacco scent. Very much an artisan that's under the radar for, I think, a lot of people.
Mhm.
Um, I picked up Declaration Grooming Opulence. I think that was probably maybe in October, though. Maybe October, November. Again, I don't know. Like, I feel like Scott's like dropped so much stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to keep track, like when, when something came out. Which is not, I mean, not complaining by any means. Um, oh, the knotting service. So I got a couple of knots
Oh, that's
and a
right.
couple of handles. They came in the first week of December. I ended up getting, and I should actually take pictures. I put them in a couple of my daily or shave of the day photos,
Mhm.
but I haven't like taken pictures of them like straight up. So one is a B9A plus in a Wild West Brushworks handle, and then the other one is a B3 in a Summer Break Soaps handle. So those. You know what? That's probably why I didn't get a lot of software,
Yeah.
because I dropped the money on two knots. So
Yeah.
knotting services. So I'm just like, oh, I did buy uh, for like stocking stuffers. I bought a
Mhm.
bunch of Sterling bath soaps.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think I bought like 20 bath soaps, and it came in this incredibly well packaged box in a like a FedEx envelope or like a padded envelope, and I'm just like, dude, this is like perfectly packed to the brim, and it probably weighed like 10 to 15 pounds. So
It's like
yeah,
a special Tetris skill.
you know what, they do good work over there, so
Mhm.
can't complain about that. But yeah, I think a couple of others here. Oh yeah, Paganini's violin, um, the special re-release for the Reddit uh, wet shaving sub. So I do have a tub of the original. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure a couple of things here and there, but yeah, not bad. But like I said, definitely didn't go. I feel like if I went crazy, it was probably like over summer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a new year, so I can't say there isn't stuff that's on the radar that I'll probably end up picking up. What about you?
Yeah, well, I was gonna mention that kind of very similarly. So Black Friday, I didn't get anything at all. Not to say there weren't things on sale or things that might pique my interest, but wanting to slow down, wanting to appreciate what I had, and I think December was pretty sparse in general. And this is probably from like training over the years from my wife. Is like stop, don't buy anything for yourself in that lead up to Christmas because people are like family members are trying to get you stuff. So like just back off. So okay, and that was a good way to just restrain myself. I think at most I might have gotten like two soaps or something to do videos with like for West Coast Shaving the Daily Shave, which it kind of counts, kind of doesn't since it's for quote unquote work. But can't say so like I've had some purchases since kind of like the new year. We can get to that a little bit later as far as things that we're looking forward to. But it was nice as far as just appreciating what I had, getting in a few more rotations. Uh, in general, I think just yeah, I think December went by really quick, and then we had as far as like real life stuff, we had originally planned to see some of my family in a safe manner, but due to some car issues and just lingering worry about just COVID exposure, etc., we decided to stay here for for that break. And then with my wife's a teacher, my kids are in school, they all had breaks, so I'd taken the week off already, and I have to say that it was a really restful week, that time between Christmas and New Year's, just to recharge. I think we try to go on like nature walks, hikes, and saw some really cool stuff. We're usually very much homebodies, me and my wife, but now we take while we can, especially New England in the winter. Like if we can get out, we're gonna get out and saw some cool stuff. nature and all that, all that's been to location, nearby locations we've never been to before. So I think that's kind of like the silver lining around all that. Also cooked and ate a bunch of good food. Did a did a prime rib roast for New Year's. Had some sushi and then Christmas.
You're
So
like 6 or 7 people I know did prime ribs for either Christmas weekend or New Year's weekend, and
yeah,
so
it's a thing. I guess we do turkey for Thanksgiving too. So usually people want to mix it up, and yeah, so it was a kind of a last minute decision to cancel our trip. So luckily I was able to like go to Costco and find a prime rib roast with no problem. It actually came out really well. We love food. I know Gerard
did
loves
you
food too.
do did you do the Kenji method? Did you do the let's see, Chef John method? Did you like how did you do slow for 6 hours or whatever, or however long? Like, did you do it
It
like
definitely
slow?
wasn't. Yeah, it definitely wasn't 6 hours, but it was. So the method we went was pretty simple. And my wife's family, more so than mine, does a prime rib roast for the holidays. So she cut slips into the roast and shoved like a whole clove of garlic. So
Yep.
she's about to go and put in a dozen, and like, oh wait, no, maybe I should cut back just in case it's too much for the kids. So I think between like 6 and 8 cloves of garlic got shoved in there, and then Hawaiian, the big Hawaiian red sea salt
Mm-hmm.
and pepper. Like, and honestly, that's all. It went in at 500 degrees for like 15-20 minutes to get
And
nice
then
color,
and then you
and
turned it
then
off.
turn it down to 200 for the remaining time. And for anyone who cooks out there or even burgeoning cooks, I want to do like a roast or turkey or whatever, get like a thermometer. It's just a digital thermometer that can stick into the roast, and then you have the monitor outside. So instead of guesswork taking it in and out of the oven, I just set to the temperature. Oh, I want it to go to 135 degrees or whatever, and then it'll sound the alarm when it hits that temperature, as opposed to 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. It's made it like foolproof.
There you go. There's the secret, everybody. So now I know some people do that. Yeah, that blast it with high heat in the beginning, and then they just drop it down, and then you don't open. Like if you don't have the thermometer ever, like you just do not open it for like 2.5 hours or whatever.
Yeah, it went at least three. It
Yeah,
definitely went
something
three.
like
I
that.
can't remember. Yeah, otherwise it messes up the temperature.
And
Uh, Besides the blasting at 500, I could have just also seared it on a cast iron
correct.
and then put it in. So however you want to brown it.
And I've also heard people do the opposite method where they go low for a few hours and then they do the sear at the very end, or
Yes,
or
that's right.
or they'll go like a searzall, which is like a looks like a torch,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
know. Yeah, and then they get the perfect sear, you know. So, but this is the
Mm.
Lather Talk podcast, not the Prime Rib podcast. Well, maybe that's the next one, in the works.
It could be. We do. Yeah, we like to cook. We like to eat. It's a source of life and pleasure.
So that's good though, and definitely, like I tell people, like, dude, cooking is my therapy.
Yeah,
So
for
uh,
sure.
yeah, just being able to eat, the your hard work, and if you get good at it, you know that's delicious work. So looks like razor. Like, are we talking about razors, like, and stuff that you're enjoying, hardware wise?
Yeah. I think I kind of like that. We talked a little bit. It gives us a chance to just spotlight whatever product we're really like we discovered it or we're just using it a lot. And the product I wanted to share was actually something that Gerard let me borrow, and that was the Rockwell 6S. So the stainless steel. I already owned the Rockwell 6C, which is uh, like a chrome plated pot metal
Yeah, yeah, zinc, pot metal.
zinc.
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
Zinc alloy.
very solid razor all around. And I don't know what made me curious about it, but I was like, oh, let me give this a go. I've heard some differences, weight being a big one, and obviously the actual material it's made of. But I absolutely loved it, Gerard. So I think I thanked you in some YouTube videos, but I really enjoyed using it. Like, it's familiar, but it was really, I don't know. Yeah,
So the shave itself, and I tell people this, like, because I guess, like, um you know like uh design, like, measurements wise, it's supposed to be the same thing, right?
yeah, yeah.
But just because it is a little bit heavier, it's like a matte finish, cold stain, like, it feels cold on your skin, like, or like, if especially if it's like fresh. And I don't know, like, like, I don't want to say the drag feels different, but maybe, like, yeah, as I'm doing my passes,
The
it
face
just
feel is just
it feels
different.
it feels different. And what plate did you end up going with most of the time?
I went with my usual, which was R4 and R5.
R4, R5.
Yeah,
And
I used R6 once, which is fine, but it was kind of like it's more than I needed. Not that it doesn't really get too aggressive for anyone who's like
no,
worried. Like even on the highest setting, it's still a pretty medium at most razor. So
yeah,
anyone, yeah, anyone chasing like a lot of blade feel, a lot of efficiency, probably not the razor for you.
yeah, definitely not. And it's funny, like, I mean, I've used that razor, and then I've had like a bunch of other razors as well, and I'm like, do I ever want to really get rid of this one? And it's like, not really, because I get such good shaves with it.
Yeah.
Like, I can get a good shave in my sleep with that razor.
You really could, especially on one of the lower plates. You could be holding a
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah. It's like, I'll put an R3 with a feather, or I'll put R4 with a silver blue or a Nasset or something
Yeah,
like that. And yeah, just smooth, just BBS shave, like, no problem, you know? Um, and I think it's one of those razors that's both, it's like both overrated and underrated for what
yeah,
it is,
yeah,
because some people are just like, oh, the 6S, just get, the carve, or get, the Tatara, or get the whatever, and which I have both too, and I'm probably going to talk about that,
yeah,
but I'm like, it's probably the cheapest, one of the cheapest stainless steel razors that you can get, and it just works. It's a good workhorse razor. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, you're not going to hear me, like, bash anyone for using it, because yeah, it works great.
For sure. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like you said, the price point and what its competitors are. The only thing that beats it, as far as stainless steel, I believe, are the Razor Rock Game Changer and some of their offerings, which are like like some of them are like depending which one, $50, 60, 70.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, that might be the best deal as in wet shaving as far as like stainless steel razors go. But that yeah, all around performance. That success is on my radar now. I'll probably upgrade it to my 6C out. The other thing, and we've talked about this before too, is like what razor do we eventually want to teach our kids, our sons in particular, to use? And like, I don't know. Part of me says I have a super speed lying around. I think injector razors actually would be a really easy way to start with.
I'm giving him a big disposable in the orange
Hmm.
package, and I'm just going to be like, you have to use this until, like, you bleed, uh and then you can come to me, and we'll, he needs to know how to suffer a little bit before he can, reach the promised land, if you will.
Try a cartridge because eventually, like if you're traveling or just in a pinch, you'll have to know what to do with that as well. Or
For sure. I
so,
mean,
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that plan.
yeah, for sure. I mean, absolutely not. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna let him use, like, one of my premium razors from the get go. No, no. I mean, like I said, like, we'll show him, like you said, maybe with a vintage razor. I don't know. I don't even. I think I only have, like. It's weird to say. I only have, say, 8, 10 razors, and I'm like, still so many compared to, like, people with just, like, one. But
Well, as a hobbyist, that is a small number. I
that
think
is.
we can agree.
I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, definitely not. Um, so, but I don't know. Like, my son's 9 months old. I'm not going to be worried about that for a while, you know. So, but we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see.
Yeah. So yeah. Either way, I'm holding on to I think too many razors with that in mind. So even like a Mercur 34C and others, like which is what I started with. I don't think that's the one I'm going to give him because I actually don't think that might be the best introduction to it. So this is this is a fun topic to always revisit as that shaving age comes closer in the long term.
I mean,
But
I might as well give him like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll just let him use a vintage Gillette Tech.
yeah, that's a great choice.
You know,
Very mild and forgiving.
I think one of the you're talking about Razor Rock as far as like a value with the Game Changer series for stainless steel, but even like their pot metal zinc, like razors, like they have um, they also have like a tech clone that's
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
that's like $8.
That's
You know,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's hard to beat. That's really hard to beat. Yeah,
and
yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you're not even looking for stainless steel, then there's so many great budget options that are around today than when either of us started wood shaving.
yeah, I mean, you get what works, right?
Yeah,
Like if you're in it, if you want to dip your toes into it just for the functional aspect, yeah, get yourself a cheap, like a cheap razor. If it's a clone of something like like so many DE89 R89 clones
yep,
out there.
yep.
Razor Rock has, like I said, Razor Rock. You can go like what Biley is one of like the cheap like Chinese brands where you can get like stupid cheap, like $5, less than $10 or whatever, and just go from there. Learn good technique, learn how to like create a lather well. I'm for sure giving him a synthetic, my son a
Yeah,
synthetic brush.
yes, yes,
Right?
definitely.
He's not getting B9A plus.
No,
Not at all. Nope. Sorry, kid. I don't know. Maybe I'll give him the, oh gosh, what was it called? It's such a that crappy Escali. The
oh no,
Escali
don't do that.
Pure Boar on Amazon. Hey, it has like
Pure boar or
10,000.
badger? Was that badger? I thought.
Oh,
Scully?
pure badger, right? The brown
Might as well have been a
single
boar.
color, like it's not super high density. It is ULD, ultra low density badger. Like it is awful. It is truly an awful product by all uh yeah, by all metrics. 100%, 0% for on my scale.
Do not buy.
No.
No.
Maybe that's how I'll get him to suffer. I'll be like, all right, you can use this razor, but here's the brush you have to, because why? Because that's what I learned on.
That's a very dad thing to do.
Yes. It's also a very Asian thing to do, just to like give your
Torture
suffering, give
yes,
like whatever like mild sufferings that you had to endure as a kid you grew up with, you pass that along like to them. So
so definitely the Rockwell 6S. It's not anything brand new, but definitely something I had the pleasure to use for a month, I think over a month even. So thank you again for that. But Gerard, how about you? What is your choice as far as just something you're really enjoying right now?
a couple of them I picked up. I already mentioned it, the Tatara Masamune razor, stainless steel from Portugal. Picked it up and just heard like how efficient it is. Yeah, it's still very mild. I do just have the regular Masamune. I do not have the Nadachi, or I don't have the Nadachi cap or anything like that. Maybe I'll pick it up in the future, but just an excellent razor to use. Some people talk about like the design, how it's like not aesthetically pleasing to them. I'm kind of fond of it, that it's so different looking.
Yeah. Oh no, I
You
love
know,
very modern,
yeah,
contemporary. Yeah, I dig it.
but and another thing I picked up recently was a Colonial Silversmith razor,
Oh,
and it is deceptively smooth, and it's been out for quite a while. Um, and so I just heard that it was nice and smooth, so I picked it up. I ended up I have I think the first version. It has there are two handle designs with it, and so I have the first gen handle design, and then I picked up one of the stainless steel handles from West Coast Shaving that Charcoal Goods did for them, and it just pairs up very nicely. Very sleek,
Hmm.
very nice, both matte finish. So it, very very nice setup as well. Maybe I'll send that to you in the future to check out also.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. Other than when you were telling me about it when you purchased it, I wasn't really familiar with that one at all.
Mm.
So nice. That sounds good. Sounds good to
Yeah,
me.
those are the two big ones, at least at least recent ones that I've been
Yeah.
kind of trading off on.
And since we're talking a lot about razors today, why don't we talk about our current top 3 favorite razors?
Can I just point back to the previous segment? you
I
know,
mean, those are recent acquisitions, but would you those have quickly just fallen into your top 3 as well?
I mean, it's probably because of recency bias.
Yeah,
You know, um,
quite possibly.
and yeah, like so top three. It's always kind of hard because um, I feel like yeah, top three favorite. Yeah, there's always going to be that, right? Like I mentioned, the card Christopher Bradley as well. I have, I finally actually I'm selling my E plate,
Oh,
for that, and so
nice.
I'm gonna get like I'm trying to get a B and a C plate.
Wait,
Like
is
either by trade.
E is the only one you have right
Yes,
now? Oh wow, I did not know that.
yeah, E's the only one I had because
Yikes!
I picked it up. It was the
Secondhand.
only one available when I picked
Yeah,
it up.
yeah.
So I'm like,
Okay.
screw it, I'll just get it, and then I'll trade it later or whatever. So, very efficient razor, right? Like on the E plate. Um, if I only did one pass, probably good, you know.
Yeah.
But on against the grain and across the grain, nope, not from me. So, yeah, I'll probably get the B and the C plate. Be good to go, for most things from there. I mean, truth be told, is there's so many good razors out there. So many that I haven't even like touched yet. Like I know
Oh, I mean, yeah.
you've been talking about
This could be a changing list, but yeah, I mean, just like
yeah,
a snapshot, for
and
January
and
2021.
yeah, exactly. But I do want to like kind of preface it with like stuff that because of you, I'm looking at a carbon razor. Okay, because of our friend Ross, I'm like I don't even like I'm whatever about the Blackbird, but or I'm sorry, but like maybe I tried it, maybe I'll look up, like a titanium, or I've seen some people like, do I want to go on the Wolfman list, and by the end of the year I'll get
Ooh.
I'll get a WR2, and I'm just like, no, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is 2021 is like very new, like anything goes, like who knows what's gonna happen.
Find your
Uh,
joy however you can.
to be honest, Razor, RAD, the
Yeah.
Razor Acquisition Disorder, has probably been the least uh, of my issues. But here I am, like I told you before, like we went on, I'm getting like a little mystery box of vintage Gillettes, from a mutual friend, and here I am talking about all these other razors and stuff like that.
You can name drop if you want. I think he'd
You know,
appreciate it.
Sure, why not? Mr. If you go on his YouTube channel, is HD Shaves. Shout out to HD Shaves over on as well as on Instagram.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I think he said he was sending me uh, actually I don't even remember. I know he's sending me a Gillette Tech with because I don't even know all the nuances between a lot of the vintage Gillettes. You know, um, Gillette New, SC, LC,
Yeah.
Milord, Aristocrat. There are like so many, and I know, and I feel like it's like dangerous waters for me to dip my toes in already, because it's just like you can find them like very inexpensive, and stuff like that. And then now I just talked about, I have maybe 8 to 10 razors. I'm gonna have 50 vintage razors by the end of the year,
Good double up. Yeah. In no
triple up,
time.
and stuff like that. I was like, oh, it's only like $10, $20.
That does remind me. You actually when you sent me the Rockwell to try, you
Yeah.
included remind me again, is the P cap?
It yes, it's an aluminum Gillette Tech with it's a peak capped. Yeah, so um, you can see the divot in the top cap, whereas some of the techs it's more just like rounded or smooth.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you know, um,
I still need to use that one, but
it,
I'm
it's
currently
nice.
I'm currently in a straight razor deep dive.
Oh yes, I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit. But yeah, use it. It is because
Yeah.
I have one. And part of the reason I gave it to you is because I have one. I have the exact same razor. So I figured why not send it over.
Awesome.
But
Well, yeah,
yeah,
thanks for,
I
yeah.
guess so. I guess top 3 favorite razors. If I'm actually going to answer the question,
Yeah.
of
Yes.
3 favorite razors right now, yeah, I would probably put the Tara Masamune, no, in no given order,
Mhm.
there. I would also put the Colonial Silversmith, on there as well. And um, um, something that I've been using just kind of every now and then is actually um, the Gillette Red Tip.
Oh, nice one. I like that one.
It is, it's just been um, I think I picked it up for like $10, $10 or $15 or something like that.
Ooh.
I mean, perfectly usable. I mean, it'd probably use a new paint job, and stuff like that. But yeah, just a killer vintage razor. Um, I know some people like the Fat Boys, but like Fat Boys like 50, 60, 80, $100. You can pick up a red tip for like under $20 in usable condition, and it is an excellent shave. Really excellent shave.
Hmm.
So I'll put that on there tentatively. Um,
Okay.
you know, just to throw it there.
No, I really like the red tip, and that's of the vintage ones. It's got a little more aggression for the vintage Gillettes, and it looks cool with the little red dial. If it's still red, like you said, the paint over time chips off. But I tried to repaint mine with some spray paint, but it didn't quite work out because it's too dribbly, or I think something with
Hobbyist paint.
huh
You get
hobbyist paint.
hobby paint.
Well, a friend of mine who's local had the exact right, like he's big into
The
vintage
brick
razors.
red.
Yeah, the brick red. So he just lent it to me, so I didn't even have to buy the paint. So I was like, oh well,
Yeah, no,
I gotta use
yeah.
it.
If I'm gonna do it, like I've thought
Hobbyist.
about getting it like refinished, maybe in the original nickel, but I mean, I don't know. I
Hmm.
think some vintage people, a lot of vintage people will just say no. That there is like, don't don't do it. Don't
Just leave it alone, kind of thing.
yeah, like leave
Yeah,
it alone. Like keep it the way it is. Like there's no need for you to like rhodium plate
red
uh
tip.
your red tip and stuff like that. But I don't know. Part of me, I haven't, but part of me wants to. So
You do you, man.
again, I've been thinking. I haven't been. At the time of this recording, the stimulus check hasn't come in, so yet. So
Oh
maybe that'll be
well.
some. Maybe that'll be like one of the little like little luxuries I use it towards. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, well, if like the red tip becomes heavy rotation, I think that definitely bumps up that possibility, right? Get it refinished, make it last a little longer, or just make it look pretty in your photos.
Yeah, why not? Why not? So
Well, my favorite choices, it was pretty easy to come by, and I don't think this has changed too much. One, this is no particular order as well, but one is the Razor Rock Game Changer .84. That one is on its way to Gerard to try out. It is. I've had the 0.84 and the milder 0.68, I think, for probably over a year now. I really like both razors, but I learned with lightening up my touch, the 0.84 can be a daily driver for me. So I think the 0.68 is about to move along to greener pastures. Excellent mild razor, mild everyday razor for anyone who kind of has that as a preference. Second choice, Gerard also mentioned, is the carved Christopher Bradley. I have the C plate. I actually started with the B plate, Gerard, when I first got it. It was way too mild, way too mild. I didn't even feel like any hair was coming off. So funny that I bumped up to the C, and it's perfect. So even 1 to 3 days of growth, no problem.
Yeah. Was it you that loaned me your carve originally?
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe like a what?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You
that's
loaned
true.
it to me, and then I ended up picking up one like afterwards. And then I think you loaned me with the C plate, and then I also had a chance to use the Christopher Bradley in stainless steel with a D plate, and then and I think the D plate was a bit much for me.
Yeah,
Um, so, but yeah, I mean, again, it's good to have I just wanted to have a couple of options with it. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, I put the feelers out there for um, a B or C plate. Here's maybe for our listeners. Here's you know, like if hit me up, because
yes.
if I don't have a B or C plate, and you have one to sell or possibly trade, I don't even know if I have anything, to be honest, because I'm I'm selling the E plate for sure. Um,
Maybe some soap or software.
Whatever,
You can trade other
anything,
stuff. Yeah,
hit me up. Let's make a deal. Okay,
nice.
there you go.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, yeah. Trade. It's like Pokemon cards. You gotta get the right carve plate.
That's it.
Or
There you go.
no. Wait. Pokemon cards. Do you want to catch them all? So scratch that. Anyway, my last choice, third last choice is Charcoal Goods Level 2. I have that in brass. I love that thing. I had picked up the heavier Magnum handle this past year, and that thing's just uh, just such a pleasure to use. But definitely not an everyday razor, at least for my skin. I find it just a hair over medium, and that's the one. If I haven't shaved for like up to a week, which is not the norm, but it happens. That's the one I'll reach for. It'll just mow down any amount of growth I have with no problem.
Very nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
no problems with the list. And like I said, I mean, I already talked about some of the razors. Maybe I'll see if there's like a pass around for a couple and stuff like that, just because. Yeah, I'm so curious. I mean, I think it's one of those things where, um, I don't know, besides that and brushes, you can get some good variation with like materials, with designs and stuff like that. And um, yeah, so that'll probably be the story of my 2021, is just like the different razors I'll have been using this year.
yeah. I guess since you brought it up, as far as like branching out, I feel like both of us are kind of been continuing because like neither of us are really big into razors. Like when a new razor drops, we're not like immediately clamoring for it. Brushes and software, different story. But you've named a few that you definitely want to try. I think we overlap with titanium. I just never tried a titanium razor. Yeah, so that's kind of on my list, just to borrow one at least before, because I know if I want to buy one, that's quite a step up as pricing goes. The haircut
That's
and
the
shave.
entire stimulus check that
That
that you're going to be dropping. You
That's
know,
right. That's right. And the haircut and shave co. I know,
yeah,
like, I don't love the look of it, but I know it does a decent, and I think I want to try that before I pull the trigger on a carbon razor, which is a nicer razor as far as amongst it would be a nicer razor amongst the ones I own. Um, but just try kind of a few similar things. I think. Oh, and Timeless. I've never tried anything from Timeless. I got to do a little research as far as the appropriate model, but I love to check that off as well.
there you go. There you go. Very nice.
Yeah, on your radar as far as razors to try.
The ones I said, like maybe
Nothing in addition to the ones you
I
listed.
I don't know. maybe.
Blackland, Blackland.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The like is it the Blackland Blackbird Ti?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just any
I
Blackland. I haven't tried any Blackland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so anything
I
is
mean,
good for me.
I got a chance to use a couple, some, I don't know even if it was last year or 2019, because I've used like a Paradigm single edge. I have not used the Vector, which is also another popular single edge razor. I enjoyed the Paradigm, but um, I just didn't want to stick with artisan club or artist club blades.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
gotcha.
um, I mean, but it's a beautiful razor and stuff like that. So um, yeah, I don't know. I think as stuff kind of like trickles in, because I mean, some of our listeners, may think different. Like I think some of our listeners are just like, oh, Gerard and Jon, have they know when everything is dropping at all the time, and um, that is not the case. Having a 9 month old, you know, any extra time I have is like towards addressing like his needs and not my own anymore, um, and stuff like that. So yeah, um,
Yeah, I think just in general too. I think we have um, a closer read on some software drops too. I think it's just maybe amongst the circles that we run into. I think it's just we're made aware of them as opposed to some of these other like razor drops, etc. Like we're just not really in the market for it. But who knows? In given a few months time, and
yeah. I mean, things all like, and here's the thing, right? I'm sure if we wanted to go on a razor kick, we could do it in a day. You know what I mean?
dangerous.
So
Yeah, but true.
we'll see.
Yes, very true. Very true.
Again, again. Hey, I'll put the I'll put it out there. Like, hey, if you have a razor, I'll strictly say continental U.S. And anything like that, and you're just like, hey, I love this razor. I think you would like it too. You know, I would love to just try it just to see why not. Screw it. Maybe
Yeah,
someone out there will
yeah.
say, Gerard, you should try the Carve H plate. Have you
Uh,
have you seen? There was a Mad TV sketch like years ago, and they talked about like, oh, they were basically making fun of the Mach 3. They're like, 3 blades, forget that. You should get the Mach 20. you know and it was like the first blade will cut the hair, the second blade cuts more of the hair, after the third blade we start to cut upon the top layer of your skin, finally we pass the nerve endings until we get to your jawbone and then like by the end of it the person is just like completely bloodied and
uh,
everything.
awesome. Well, shall we move on to maybe a handful of listener questions? All right. So the first listener question we're going to tackle comes from Reyes Restores, and he asks, "What's your favorite collaboration of 2020?"
um Favorite collaboration, the ones that I got, I would probably say number one would probably be Australian Private Reserve and Southern Witchcraft's Grapefruit. I have the trio. I have the Soap Splash and the EDT
Hmm.
for it. It might be EDP. Just very nice, kind of earthy, dark grapefruit scent. Um, Very nice and appropriate, for you could. I mean, it is not, even though there's grapefruit in there, it is not an overly citrusy scent. It is a very like kind of dark, deeper scent than that. Um, Appropriate for like the fall, winter time, definitely.
Hmm.
Um, I also would say I didn't get it, but again, Australian Private Reserve and Mammoth Soaps, they released Santal Noir. I think that is the fastest selling release in Mammoth's history. I believe they said like within 45 seconds, all the sets were out, like something stupid, like within less than a minute. it was gone. Within 3 minutes, everything was done. The singles and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance. I didn't grab it. Again, again, if you maybe have it, there's gonna be all
That's
of these things like
no,
like
that's a harder one to find. So yeah,
Gerard's trying, like let's make a deal. Let's talk. Um,
it's fine. You can that platform let
you
people
know,
know.
uh, but I'm sure that that would be. Yeah, I'm sure if I did smell it and if I enjoyed it, I mean that would be up there. And then um, I'd probably also include the ongoing collaboration between Declaration Grooming and Châtillon Luc is La Petite Prairie, and I very much enjoyed La Petite Prairie, as well. So again, not really, you know, I'd say number one would be grapefruit with like honorable mentions being the other two,
Okay.
and whatnot. So, what about you?
The first one pops in my head, and it might be because it's more recent, but it's Barbershop de los Muertos, and that was a collaboration between Murphy and McNeil, Chicano Design, John Perry, and Chicano Design or Rafa. We've had the pleasure to speak with on the podcast. It's a dupe of Amouage Jubilation 25, which actually I have that fragrance. Absolutely love it, and I missed it the first time he did it a few years back. So when it came back, uh, already having an idea of what I was going to get, I was looking really forward to it. So I don't know if that really counts because it's just like I know I'm getting, but I'm still really it's a great dupe. I guess that's the part I didn't know. So it's a great dupe. It's a dark barbershop is the best way I would describe it. But at the same time, it's not so dark that it couldn't be all year round. I mean, in general, barbershops I think are all seasons, year round picks. This one is just a little more like the darkness just it stands out more. There's a Middle Eastern spice quality to it, which I love about the fragrance. That you can really get that more in the aftershave rather than the soap. But really beautiful scent. It's in the Kodiak base too, and I think that they'll keep it around, but with subsequent releases because it's gone through two batches and they both sold out. I think future ones might just be in whichever the Aeon base, whichever Murphy and McNeil currently have as their standard base.
Nice, very
Yeah,
nice.
I think I'm just looking real quick, but that's oh runner up or maybe
Honorable mention.
honorable mention. It's got to be Zaharoff signature, which was a collaboration with Gentleman's Nod. That was one of the things we said was going to happen, where more the perfuming world was going to really intersect with wet shaving, and that's perfect example for that. Lovely modern fougere. They've since released fragrance wise. There's two more flankers, and I think one of the two flankers have made it into shave soap and aftershave form.
Yeah, I mean that was. I feel like that was really big, for Gentleman's Nod is and everything is just, I think we talked about it early, like when we started the podcast that, um, you know, shaving, men's grooming, and the fragrance world are kind of, converging, if you will. Whether they like it or not. I think more and more people are discovering, the artisan shave world and stuff like that, and as well as discovering art, fragrances and stuff like that, and things along that nature. So it just makes sense that um, you see more collabs like that, from official fragrance houses and whatnot. Um, you know, and I don't know, for some odd reason when you mentioned that, I also wanted to throw in another honorable mention
Okay.
for a collab, is Zingari Man and Sean Maher of Chatillon Luxe, who they did Watchmen.
That's right.
Well, I understand that Sean designed the fragrance. It is not a Chatillon Luxe official fragrance. Like he designed it. He worked on it specifically, for Heather at Zingari. But that is a great scent as well. Some like berries, vanilla, not overly sweet, just like nice. I think they, it's like stormy seas is kind of designed in there. Just a very um, it's not dank, as our uh, friend Ross would love it to
No,
be, but
I've called it a dark aquatic. This is going off a
that
sample.
is excellent. That is an excellent way to
Dark aquatic.
describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is not a bright aquatic.
Nope.
I would say firefighter is a bright aquatic. Well, maybe a woody aquatic.
Woody. Yeah.
Yeah,
That thing
woody
is like
aquatic.
so cedary. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that, but yeah, dark aquatic. I only have the fragrance.
Oh, you
I
do?
didn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I enjoyed when Heather released number one with Byron Parfums last year. Uh, you know, and I also feel like if I'm gonna get the something like that with the parfum and do it justice, like we both know, and several artisans and stuff like that know as well, is like you can only get so much from the soap.
Yeah.
You get a little bit more in the splash, or the balms, if that's what that, I mean, that's the thing right now because of
The post shave. Yeah.
yeah, because of the alcohol shortage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to kind of take the fragrance for what it is. So I just decided to pick up a bottle of the I think it's an extrait de parfum, and it's nice. It's really really nice.
We actually have a trio of questions from Reyes Restores. So here's question number 2. Which was your most memorable video for the WCS Daily Shave series?
Um, okay, so for those of our listeners that don't know, both John and myself do our part of West Coast Shaving's Daily Shave series, where new releases, existing products, stuff like that. We'll kind of give our thoughts, reviews. I don't want to say, sometimes it's a first impression, sometimes it's
Mhm.
just, talking about it in general. Um, and so, because of that, we're very blessed to be able to, use a lot of new product or, stuff, excuse me, out there. Um, the most memorable videos, there's two that come to mind. Um, I don't want to like drag it on too quickly, but and they weren't this year. They were, I think from a couple of years back. One of them was for the Gillette Guard, which is a plastic cartridge razor that is made for the Indian shaving market. It is incredibly cheap. It is a single blade with a like a half, almost like a not really open comb, but it has like a comb like design. Um, and I strictly bought it and did a review on it uh, for a travel razor. I before obviously COVID happened, I was a predominantly carry on only uh, traveler, and you cannot have uh, double edged blades, single edged blades. You can't have those. You can't carry those with you. So you either have to buy them at your location, mail them to you. That's just a pain in the butt. So I wanted to have something, and having a cartridge was kind of like the compromise. But I saw that it's available, and you can get it like you can get it at West Coast. Actually, I don't even know if you can get it at West Coast Shaving right now anymore, but it's very cheap. Like I think like the handle was like $3 or $4, and then if you go on Amazon or something, like the little cartridges are as cheap as like a quarter or 50 cents. You know, perfect for just a very like cheap shave and whatnot. And um, it's like my second most popular, like most viewed video on
Wow.
on the West Coast Shaving Daily Shave series. And then the first one is Cremo. and
Yes.
and
You're quite proud of that fact.
I literally, and I don't know, like if anyone, if Abe, or any of the guys at West Coast Shaving, like hear this or watch this, yeah, I remember. For those of you that know, like our friend Abraham, he's the one that kind of collaborates and nudges everyone as far as getting that whole series together. And I told him, I said I want to do a video on Cremo, and he's like, no, like no. And at the time, I said, why? Like, it's a relatively new product. It's very unique in the market, and I think it was available. You can buy it in store. You could buy it at stores at the time. Like Target and stuff. And it is the most popular daily shave video on there. I think it has like 10,000 views or something like that of me shaving. Like, I know it's over 10,000, and it's just hilarious because uh, I know for a fact that they do not carry it anymore because Cremo got so big. They basically said, "Oh, our minimum order is something like 10,000," and I do not blame them for wanting to keep in stock 10,000 tubs of Cremo when you could buy it at Target, or Walmart or wherever. But it's still I think it's just a funny product video because it just kind of shows that people are searching for it and whatnot. So those are my two favorite WCS daily for like probably the opposite reasons. Why they should be watched at all.
Yeah. Man, I had to look back a little bit, but so my most memorable video is the second video I ever did for West Coast Shaving, and this was for this came out around Thanksgiving 2019, and the story behind that one. So the product was Mammoth Soap's Kryptonite, and this is still Mammoth Soaps. I think we mentioned them before. I'm friends with the artisan Ben, and very 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 limited kind of small drops. It has recently changed with the recent drop of Moon Indigo, where I think that product lasted for at least a week this time around. So
the redrop,
the second release
in the cart due.
Yeah, so it's great to see them expand and be more readily available. So, but Kryptonite was like, this is still back in the middle of immense popularity. I picked up the soap from Ben because he lives about 10 minutes away from my family, not far from our hometown that we both grew up in, and I shaved with it either that night or the night after, but. Coupled with just having a new soap, really excited to use it, like a lime, synthetic menthol kind of scent, very straightforward. It's also a green soap, like Ninja Turtle mutagen green. But also, I started losing my voice. in that video, if you go back, which is still there, my voice is very hoarse. By the next morning, I couldn't talk. So I'm trying to push out this video. Very
This is the greatest soap ever.
Yeah.
Kryptonite is the best.
I mean, it wasn't far from that. Or like once it really, whatever it was I had, once it really set in, it might have been strep because I think it also hurt like a mother. So I basically like, it's good I was able to get that video done when I did. But it just had some kind of funny surrounding circumstances. That was that was the second one, and the third and last question from Reyes Restores, and thanks Reyes for for all the questions. But this last one, what was the most surprising and most disappointing product you tried this year?
Surprising? I don't know about disappointing. I mean, to be honest, like, I buy quite a bit, but I also sell quite a bit. So sometimes, it just, you don't have it long enough. And if I sell it, quickly, it's just because I either haven't used it in months, and I'm just like, I should just get rid of it, or the scent just didn't hit me, like maybe the way I wanted to. I can't really say anything was, surprising.
No.
I feel
no new product or anything like that kind of really blew you away.
maybe
maybe.
going back to that colonial silversmith, it
Oh yeah,
is,
yeah.
like I said, it's, I was surprised that it was as smooth as it is. It's like I said, like, I mean, um, and it's also not a real, it's not a very expensive razor either. I think the retail was
Mm,
125 for a
okay.
stainless steel razor.
Yeah.
It excellent razor. Uh, so I don't, I could be wrong. It could be a little bit more than that too. I don't know the exact price on it.
That's okay. But
Um,
in that ballpark.
but yeah, that's probably it. Again, recency
Yeah.
bias. Because I got it at the end of the year. Um, but as far as disappointing, like I don't think I try not to set myself up for disappointment. You know, um, at least software wise, and that's what I'm usually assuming.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Well,
hardware wise, I'm not really disappointed in anything because I kind of know what I'm getting myself into.
yeah.
Um, you know, but I can't think of anything like overly disappointing this year. I mean, maybe the most disappointing thing is that I couldn't really try everything that I want. Like try everything. Um,
Yeah. So my surprising choice would be a razor as well, and it was the razor I tried. I was doing some tests with before the Rockwell, and that was actually thanks to Yosta Coast. He lent me his carbon shaving 316L, the razor, uh, which I've actually borrowed before from another mutual friend of mine and Gerard's, Tonality, or I don't know which name to go by, but Tonality. Uh,
We'll go tonality. He knows.
okay, he knows who he is.
On Reddit. On Reddit.
And so Tonality had given me a chance to try the carbon razor, stainless steel, and that went well. But I think it was still kind of like it was a mental block as far as like would I actually pick it up. But then when I borrowed it again from Yost this time around, he included the carbon fiber handle, which it might not be a looker because the carbon fibers are kind of. I really like the carbon razor design, but some people don't like that carbon fiber look. I have no problems with it. Most importantly, it gave it a lighter weight, and for whatever reason, that combination of that razor with the Astro blade and the lighter handle, it was like it was so nimble, Gerard, and just the way it handled. I, it's the feel like I'm not into cars, but like I would imagine someone who's really into cars when they their dream car, the way it handles and the tires, etc. Um, how they would describe it. That's kind of how it felt with this trial. Just I even got to go back and forth between the stainless steel handle and the carbon fiber handle, and like that's a clear winner. Um, that makes it more pricey, unfortunately, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to save some stimulus check, or I turn 40 this spring. Yeah, I don't. I know this face might not look it, but
Asian don't raisin, baby.
that's right. But
That's right.
that's happening. Yeah, that's happening in the spring. And yeah, maybe it'll be a nice way to celebrate that. I don't know because yeah, so that was definitely surprising, right? Because it's a razor I used before, and you wouldn't think like. What makes me wonder? Do I just throw on a like any old letter handle? I don't think it works that way. There's something about the way it was kind of designed and balanced, etc. But
Mm-hmm.
that's my choice for surprising and disappointing. Kind of like how you're saying, it's probably going to be scent wise because we are largely in blind buying these things unless it's a dupe of a cologne that we own or has smelled. But I will say disappointing. It's going to be Noble Otter Rar because no other product would I say I wanted to like more than that one, given the story behind the soap, the awesome label, excuse me, with that one, with the otter dressed up in a Godzilla costume. But the scent just wasn't for me. It's not offensive, mind you. I don't hate it, but it wasn't. It's not something I'd really reach out for because it's got this like,
It's a
uh,
bright floral.
yeah, too floral, I say green because it's like vegetal as opposed to. Actually, no, it's dandelion. Is that right? One of the
Yeah,
notes. So
definitely.
I think that it's too much dandelion for me. not words I would ever think I would say, but it's like a sweet green. It's kind of like what comes off as, and it's just what really wasn't my jam. So I mean, same as you, I either give away or sell um, product I'm just not going to use, and I was sad to see that one go, but I don't miss it. I'm glad I discovered Firefighter, which became my second favorite of the no otter scents I've tried. So it's okay. You win some, you lose some. So disappointing in that I wanted to like it more, but uh, I was kind of prepared for it anyway. It's not like a huge letdown, but that's the probably the best candidate for that category.
There you go. The hog has spoken. So okay, I'll go through the the next question. This is from Phil Niche UK. I'm going to assume it's Phil Niche UK. It could be Niche Chuck, but
Yeah.
uh, you know, um, what is your opinion on scooping soap from the puck or tub to load from a bowl? Which were scooping for me. I basically will scoop if the soap is really soft. That's essentially it. If it's hard, I'm gonna just load from the tub. That's my general rule. Um, I guess the only exceptions I have are if I'm kind of like 50-50 on if I'm gonna keep the soap or not. I'm gonna smell it first. I will scoop so that I can, because I know some people are very iffy about using product, that was already loaded from the tub. So I'd rather just say if I sell something, to say scooped once, scooped twice, that's it. But other than that, because yeah, because I don't lather, I don't particularly bowl lather. I'll load from the tub or the bowl, and I develop the lather on my face. So that's just me.
My answer is actually the same as Gerard. I prefer lathering from the tub anyway. I feel like I get a better lather because it's just what I'm used to. As far as people who primarily bowl lather, yeah, you do you. There's, yeah, I am more anti-blooming than anti-scooping. So
Definitely, blooming is bad, and you should feel bad. Okay,
do
fight
it.
me if you don't agree with me. Fight me. Let's do it.
Oh no.
We'll go. Okay.
Throwing down your gauntlet for that one. Okay, all
So
right.
next question: scented post shave or unscented post shave? This is from BVSA Pike.
Our friend from Reddit.
Yep.
So,
You go.
yeah, quick answer for this one is if it's splash, I do prefer scented matching splash. I'm pretty matchy, but then when it comes to bomb, which I should finish it with in the cooler weather, I go unscented.
Yeah. I've been avoiding picking out matching splashes because I've kind of gotten into the fragrance side of things, and so for sure soap. Um, I use a lot of unscented post shave. I have unscented like witch hazel. I have Zingari's unscented balm. Actually, I also have. I mean, I have some unscented splashes as well from like Southern Witchcrafts. I have. Well, it is scented, but I use also Good Oleo from Vita,
Yep.
the oil blend. The scent goes away, pretty quickly. But then,
Yeah,
like I said,
I would call that one unscented. It's unscented because it's
it
just
no,
the base. But
it's scented. Like
you say scented?
it's scented. Like you
Mm,
smell. There is a definite smell to it.
yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
Yes, that's true.
yeah, like because if I'm gonna, yeah, it goes away pretty quickly because as it kind of absorbs into your skin,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll go away within maybe like 30 minutes or so. But like I said, yeah, I'm leaning on trying to pair more with like finding a fragrance that matches more.
Hmm.
Um, with that said, I still have a lot of matching aftershave splashes. I have a shit ton of matching aftershave splashes. Um, and if it is something, again, like I don't know, like if it's something that, for example, does not have a fragrance like a EDT or EDP attached to it, and I know it's maybe from an artisan that like goes heavy on the fragrance, in the splash.
Mm,
But I feel like this year so many artisans are not doing the splashes. You know what I mean? So many are just offering the matching balms. I mean, a few are still offering splashes, but um, yeah, it's like right now. I'll say, I'll say right now, lean unscented post shave for most of the things. You
yeah.
um, but no judgment either way, right? Uh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. I think just to kind of add a little bit to my answer. I think because I'm doing the matchy aftershaves a lot of times, I don't want to chase down like matching bombs. That's for me. That's where I draw the line. So I might try like a new artisan's unscented bomb, but I'm not going to chase down and match each soap with that bomb because that's just I don't know. For me, that's I call that excessive, but it doesn't exactly track when you're like, why do you have 50 plus aftershaves just to match the scent? So
yeah. I
I
mean,
draw
I
the lines
just read
somewhere.
my day is more practical. It's like rather than spend the $15-$20 on the aftershave
Yeah,
that will not last more than 2 to 4 hours. There are a few that last longer, but for the most part, like they don't. The fragrance
yeah,
oil isn't there.
yeah.
Why not just put a little bit more and just get the matching splash? Or I'm sorry, matching fragrance, EDT, EDP, whatever.
Right.
Like, and many artisans offer very reasonable fragrances in some of their scents. Barrister and Man, I think, like, Seville is like $30, for the EDT if you like that. A couple like their base, their like mainstay line of shaving fragrances. I don't know if it's the same for like I think Baudelaire on West Coast Shaving was like $40, right? Something like that. Um, I don't
Yeah,
know how much.
very, very, very reasonable.
Very reasonable. Southern Witchcrafts, I think all of theirs are $30, right? I'm trying to think who else has like reasonable. First Line Shave comes to mind. I think a lot of theirs are also um, dupes of fragrances, but I think it's like 30-35 bucks, for stuff like that. Like, so if I'm already spending 15 to 20 on an aftershave, I might as well. And if an artist, if they offer it in the fragrance, I'm just gonna pick up the fragrance. I'll enjoy it more for myself.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Rich Razor, do you guys rank number one and why? Duck Fat, 49.49.
I
The
think
homie.
we covered that one. Right.
Go back an hour ago. So
Top three, current top three kind of
there,
answers that.
there you go. Okay. Uh, Favorite declaration, not batch, and why? From Hawaii, Shave 326. Um, you want to go for it or?
Yeah, sure. Of the ones I own currently and I've been fortunate to borrow, I still enjoy B6 the most because I think it's soft, sprays easily, but it's got backbone for a face lather, and it's got a little bit of gel, but not too much. So kind of it's the right proportion of all those factors for me.
All right. So yeah, I've tried B3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, A plus, and 10. And now that's it's also kind of a loaded question because I very much feel that the size of the brush is huge. I've used a 24 millimeter declaration, and it feels nice, but it doesn't feel nearly as luxurious as a 28, right? Um, the ones I own personally, they're all 26s, just because I feel like it's like a good size for my face, and stuff like that. But yeah, the ones that I've out of all the ones I've tried, see, it's tough to say favorite. Um, I'm gonna just talk about the ones that I own because I have the most experience with them. Even the ones I borrowed and stuff like that, like it's been a while, so I can only give like a little bit of input, trying feedback, trying to remember. But I own B3, 8, and 9A plus. I actually like all of them pretty even, but just for different reasons. B3 is known for being the scritchiest, the roughest, hair, and that may be true. But like my B3 is really nice. It's actually quite soft. Um, B8 has the best backbone for me, and actually B8 was the first declaration knot I ever tried, and I tried it in a Jefferson handle, and I was just blown away by it. And I got B9A plus, and the plus element is because Scott treats the hair a little bit, so it has some um, extra jelly tips, not super jelly, but plus plus some gel treatment in there. And I'm typically not a fan of overly gelled knots. I feel like they're slimy. They don't, lather very well for me. I've talked about that, in the past. But it is like right there in terms of how nice it is. It's probably, um, and out of the ones that out of the ones that I have and what are currently available, if you choose to get a knotting service from Scott, right now all he has is B3 and 9A slash 9A plus. I would definitely probably tell a person to go with 9A plus on there. But yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of a cop out answer, but yeah, it's almost like if you have, like, I'm not into cars, but people who are into cars, they like different ones for different reasons of how they it fits when they sit in it, or how they drive it, or just the kind of story behind it.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm going with with it. So yeah, let's see. Oh, we have another question from him as well. from Shave326.
Yeah.
So, favorite soap from Europe?
That one's an easy choice for me. It's one of my favorite discoveries from 2020. It's not new by any means. It's Pana Crema Nuevia. Love it. Love it.
So, little. So Jon actually sent me samples of it, and I haven't used a single one yet.
Oh,
so
it's okay. I just used your the sample that you gave me like months ago,
like a year ago. Like it feels like, or like at least 6 or 8 months ago.
It was a while, right? Yeah.
I have so many samples. I feel like you're doing 30 days of straight razor shaving right now. I might just have to like power. I might power through them.
That'd be fun.
Maybe not 30 days straight, but I mean, the one that just comes to mind is probably Euphros.
Okay. That's
yeah, I mean, I enjoy Euphros. I think I've used Extra Cost Messy as well. I had a chance to use it, which was also, it was not, it was okay. Like I didn't hate it or anything like that. But yeah, I'll say Euphros, like very solid, very very strong scents. And that, I guess that'll be my answer. That's what I'm going to go with.
Just wondering, have you tried SV Saponificio Veracino?
No, I have not. So
I might have to send you a tub to try.
Yeah, definitely.
It's great. It's also a very good one.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Okay, and our last question from Dramtastic Shaving 2.0: your favorite budget soap company? I don't.
Sterling.
It's kind of loaded question. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, because what do you consider budget, or what's the price point?
Like best bang for your buck for sure, Sterling. Like, I think for sure, right?
Yeah. I mean, I immediately thought of Sterling when I saw that question.
Yeah, that is the easy go-to answer. Just some other ones I'm going to throw out there.
Yeah, sure.
Stubble Buster, which is they're basically all clone dupes, which is the kind of sister company of Chiseled Face Grumatorium. They I understand. I think last I heard, they were basically just clearancing out all of the old soap because they're gonna like do rebatches, and I think a fair assessment was that the fragrance was a little bit light,
Yeah.
and I think Ron from Chiseled Face said he's gonna up the fragrance in the next batch of releases for Stubble Buster,
Oh, that's
but
great. That's great to hear. I thought it was going clearance because it's just being discontinued. I thought that
no.
was that's a it's a fantastic soap base.
Yeah,
Great.
really excellent
Yeah.
soap base, and I think like at full price, it's like 8-9 bucks a ton.
Yeah, yeah,
So
really good. If there's still any left on the Grumatorium site, I highly recommend giving it a try. But yeah, that's good to hear. It was pretty light scented. I had two of them, and I think I wanted giving them to friends. But yeah, I'm glad the scent is being boosted, and just all the different clones that were chosen, I thought are great. Like there's some great old school ones. Some like it's like from the kind of like a hits radio channel, like your favorites from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Like it hits a lot of really nice colognes in that lineup.
yeah, very very good. So that would that's out there. I'm trying like anyone. I feel like it's hard to also say budget soap because that's a thing like budget meaning price point. um in this hobby nothing is overly like inexpensive. Going back to sterling, a good way to budget is just to get the samples because sterling samples are 1 ounce and that's huge. That's so
Very
much.
very generous. Yeah,
Super generous
for the
samples, and they're
price.
only like like $3, 3-4 bucks, if that. So you can get quite a few for that reason as well. But um, but yeah, I think in this hobby, the reason nothing is ever really a budget soap because you're you're not just buying one and you're done. You know, you will buy 2 or 3 or 4, and then next month happens and a new release drops, and before you know it, oh, I'm doing it to save money, and here I am, just like a ridiculous mail call, of like 10 soaps, 2 brushes, a razor, and a partridge in a pear tree by the end of it, right? So
Yeah.
so there we go. And that was the last question.
Well, that's gonna do it for today's episode of Lather Talk. We want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're so glad to be back. It's a brand new year. Gerard, can you tell everyone where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on primarily on Instagram at Hey Gerard Shaves. Um, that's probably the easiest way of getting a hold of me. If you make a comment, drop a comment in this on YouTube, then I will definitely take a peek and can respond that way as well. But yeah, that's primarily it.
Awesome. And you can reach me pretty much anywhere as Latherhog, Instagram, latherhog@gmail.com, and of course on YouTube as Latherhog. You can find me all those ways. I'm checking on behalf of Gerard too, so I'll make sure that he sees any comments. So yeah, so that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much. We hope you take care, stay safe. Until next time.
Thank you.